Hello to all you guys out there in YouTube land. Yes, it's me, DR, doing a proper video. Not like a walkie video, not like just a general talkie video, but like a proper video. This is like an edited video with stuff and flashy transitions and things that will be moving around the screen. Woo-hoo! I'm very excited. So, guys, why am I doing something like this? Because I want to, basically. I'm going to start off every video just because I found like finding YouTubers and looking for YouTubers has been difficult for me, so I'm going to start all this by kind of recommend someone I've looked at. I don't want to call it shout outs because my channel's too small to shout anyone out. It's more like a yelp out or a cry out or something, and the whole thing about shout out makes it seem sort of like you have to do it, you're forced to do it. I quite like doing this, so the first person, and hopefully it'll be over here or over there, somewhere here. Like I can't even do the thing with a camera. Not even good with cameras anymore. Look at me. Like, no, there. About there will be Noel Plum 99. Love Noel. Think he's amazing. Noel's the type of guy, I'm going to stop doing that now. Noel's the type of guy that I'd love to go out for a beer with one time if I ever was fortunate enough to come across his path. So that's an invite if I ever come and see you. That, yeah, let's do beer, because I'd love to have it. I wish he lived closer to me, even though the accents say we kind of live on the same landmass. He doesn't live as close to me as I'd like. But Noel Plum 99, he's absolutely awesome. And this has got a clip from his last video. There, somewhere around here, was there, around there. Anyway, so let me get to the point of this video. This video is really about, I've been coming across this whole kind of debate about atheism and theism, and what is atheism, and what does it actually mean, and I kind of want to then lead into what it means to me, and means specifically for me, but I kind of just wanted to talk about how I define atheism. What is it? What constructs do I put on it? When I say that word, what meaning does it have? And for me, atheism is purely the rejection of the theist claim that there is a deity. That's it. Rejection that there is a God. Nothing else bolted on top of it. None of my opinions about social interaction. None of my opinions about whether or not Lost ended efficiently and professionally. None of my opinions about whether or not I like toast in the morning. That's it. Rejection of a theist claim that there is a God. So why would I make that statement? Why would I have to? Well, as with most people probably on YouTube and elsewhere, what tends to happen when you say, I'm an atheist, is people go, well, what? You making a claim? What? You saying there's no God? What? How do you know? How do you know? How do you know? What? How do you know? And it really frustrates me that people really don't get it and they don't understand. And I think it's people's tendency to see things in such a black and white, wrong and right kind of way that leads people to make these kind of statements, and emotionally it feels right, it feels kind of like it makes sense that if you're not agreeing with me then you're saying I'm wrong, but does that actually make sense in the wider bigger picture? And this is going to use an example that's been used by many people before, and you probably heard it better, but just go with me. Let me do it. Is that okay? Yeah. To quote Matt Dillahunty, I'd like to believe as many true things as possible. So in that example, when someone makes a claim, when someone makes a statement, we need to judge that. We need to have some rules to judge whether or not that statement's true or not. Right? Yeah? Let's say I make a claim and I turn around and say, I have a robot chicken that talks and sings and dances. If I said that to you, you might actually say, well, no, I don't believe that. I want you to prove it to me. I want you to show me. But why do you do that? Why do we have that? Why do we have that construct where actually the person who makes a statement has the burden of proof? So has to prove to everyone that that statement's true. Well, let's look at the reverse. Let's flip it over. Let's say everyone else has to prove it. So for me, I would turn around and say, I have a robot chicken that dances and speaks, and you'd have to prove it. You'd have to go to some amazing lengths, come to my house, look through the window, take a picture to prove that I didn't have this robot chicken. And then potentially you might have to act as if I had a robot chicken, even though you hadn't seen it or observed it. So you have to behave as if my robot chicken was true. And I could add on various different claims. So for example, let's say I decided to tomorrow I was going to accuse you of a crime. And actually not just you, just everyone. I was just going to say a crime's been committed. So how would we ascertain who actually committed the crime? So you'd say, well, the police would go out and look. Well, actually, if the burden of proof was on everyone else, then it would be down to everyone else to come in and prove that they were innocent. Even people in foreign lands, even people who are in space stations, even people who potentially were in hospitals would have to prove that they didn't commit this crime. Does that start to make sense? But now we actually look at the logical way. If I make the claim, so the police say you did it, what do they have to do? They have to provide you with some evidence that you actually did it. Otherwise, they can't just come up to you and blame you. People turn around and have great displeasure when people do that. So now do you see why the burden of proof is on the person making the statement? So now that brings me back to atheism. So, who's making the statement in this scenario? Atheist or theist? Let's think about it logically. Most of the time when you go to a church or a religious ceremony, what are they saying? There is a deity. So they are making a claim. So when they make that claim, who's the burden of proof on to prove that? Provide some evidence. Atheist position is really just saying, look, whatever you're providing, whatever you think it might be, the colour of the sky, the book that you have in your hand, that is insufficient evidence for me to believe your claim. So the same, let's take the robot chicken. I say I've got a robot chicken, you turn around to me and you say prove it. And I say, can't you see my house is so pretty, so beautiful, must be the proof of the robot chicken chicken's doing the job. And you go, well no, I haven't seen the robot chicken, but everything in my house, the lights turn on, the lights turn off, the bed sheets go on, the bed sheets go off, that's proof of the robot chicken. It's amazing, I've got a robot chicken. What would you say? Oh no, I want to see it. But the robot chicken, it's a mystical chicken, and you can't see it unless you really truly believe in this robot chicken. But a robot chicken exists. What would you say to me? Now, you might think I have a robot chicken. You might actually believe there's a robot chicken that exists somewhere. You might not just believe it's in my house. But at the same point, you would reject that claim. And that's simple fact. You would reject it based on the fact you needed more evidence. I haven't asked you if you believe that there is a robot chicken in the house. I just made a claim there's a robot chicken in my house. Now if I turned around to you and said, do you believe that there is a robot chicken that exists? Different question altogether in my opinion. Now people might say, actually, what's the difference between making a claim that there's a robot chicken and asking your opinion on the robot chicken? I think what you're asking me to make a judgment on a claim, whereas the second question is asking for my opinions and feelings about that claim. And I think they're two different questions altogether. Some people disagree with me, some people agree with me. That's the way I see it. We're free to have that debate, but that's my opinion. So hopefully I made that really nice and clear and straightforward. I didn't use any complicated words or any difficult things out there, so that it's really nice and simple. For me, that's a major achievement. Anyway guys, if you like this video, please put a like down there. Make sure you follow Noel Plum, keep an eye on him. As I said, every time I do a video like this, I'll try and do kind of what else can you say? A shout out. I caved. And you guys, thank you for watching this video, and peace out, and have a safe journey wherever you're heading.